All right. So, of course, everybody knows about ChatGPT. ChatGPT is the main tool that everybody learned from Sam Altman from OpenAI, right? Founder of WorldCoin, right? Now, ChatGPT is a great tool for, I would say original thinking, right? You want to find quotes, you want to have it help create business plans, business models, right? You want to have it do, help with writing, any creative outlets and things of that nature that you may need. I think ChatGPT is best for that, right? Really planning and strategizing with you. ChatGPT is great. It's like having a very smart person in your pocket at any point in time. For all the questions that you got that you want to ask, just go ask ChatGPT. The problem with ChatGPT is, but what makes it original is the fact that it makes up stuff, right? So sometimes it would have sources or it would have information that don't have true sources because it made it up and it sounds perfectly plausible. So I wouldn't use ChatGPT for research. I would use it for originality, for thinking, right? You can ask ChatGPT to think about, whether it's a business, whether you wanted to help write newsletters, whether you wanted to help write emails, captions, titles, come up with ideas. Like, yes, work with ChatGPT. And of course, it has these plugins, which are these extra features that can be added on there. So it can search the internet, it can read YouTube videos, they can, create recipes, they can, get to the point where it even start ordering stuff for you online. Like you can implement it on the back end as a plug-in tool for some of like, let's say like MailChimp. You can do something like Zapier, Zapier as a tool that connects all of your back-end apps together so that they start working seamlessly together. You can say, hey, I have a Shopify store. I want you to create, an article and I need you to, and it can automatically upload it because you can connect Shopify to ChatGPT. So now you should essentially, theoretically, your productivity should increase by 100%. And everybody that works with you should increase by 100%. And if they don't, get rid of them. That's my suggestion. You can set the parameters of your ChatGPT to be customized based on who you are. So tell ChatGPT the way you want it to answer questions so that you don't have to keep resetting. So you say, hey, if you want to use ChatGPT as a therapist, that's up to you. I'm not saying you should, but serving as an example, you can say, listen, ChatGPT, I got anxiety issues. So every time I ask a question, I need you to answer like a holistic therapist that has all of the information of psychology. But I don't want you to just speak from a European ideology standpoint. I need you to speak from an Afrocentric standpoint. And I need you to be empathetic to the fact that I grew up in low impoverished environments. But I want you to speak to me in a tone that's always giving me confidence. I don't know. Boom. So now when it answers questions, it's going to speak with that framework each and every time unless you go and change that framework, right? Or you can say, hey, I'm a business owner. I sell hair, right? So every time that you answer, I want you to answer it in a point where you're making sure that this information is relatable to my goals. And then it's going to, so, okay, what are your goals? My goal is to increase sale, increase visibility, right? Increase networking. I want to have information on here that nobody else knows. So now when you ask the questions, it's doing it based on that parameter. Boom, game number one. So listen, my AI class, my future class is gonna be different. My future proof class is gonna be different because prompting is a six-figure skill. So actually learning how to do it, I'm a master thinking when it comes to prompting because I know how to communicate and I utilize my neocortex a lot, right? So actually being able to get the most out of it is the game. So let's say if you are a master prompter, then I can say, hey, I need this. I can tell you whatever I want. And you don't have to be the expert, but because you know how to utilize ChatGPT, then you can get the actual results that I want from it. So now I'm not limiting you based on your education, right? Based on your title. I'm just saying, listen, this is what I need. I need this data for this. I need it looked at this kind of way. Now, so ChatGPT does make up stuff, so it's not the best for factual information. So if you're writing a book and you need resources and sources rather for, some of the information that you're talking about, I wouldn't use ChatGPT as a research assistant. I got one for you on that. We're going to go to Claude.ai. So this is the one that I think is actually good for it, right? Claude.ai is the best for it. So Claude is spelled Claude, like Van Claude Dam. Claude.ai. This is game. So learn this. Because ain't nobody talking about these. So I got to give you the game. ChatGPT is one, but these are meant to work three. They're meant to work together. And the reason they're meant to work together because what one AI doesn't do, that's the reason that the other AIs are created for, because they're creating value. Saying, well, hey, ChatGPT don't do this, but Claude does this, right? So ChatGPT is going to be coming out with ChatGPT 5. They're going to have, a multimodal models, which means that someone going to do pictures, someone going to be doing video, right? Things of that nature. With ChatGPT, you can't tell it to search the internet and it won't know, right? But I like ChatGPT for a lot of different reasons. So let's go to Claude.ai. Now, what do I like about Claude.ai? A lot of these I have dislikes and I have likes for on each one of them. But Claude.ai is a great research tool because it searches the internet in real time, right? So meaning that it might not know something at first, right? But you can give it parameters and it can learn that fast because it has the ability to search the internet, right? All you have to do is it might ask you for more information so that it can go search this database and it can figure out what you're talking about because it might not know. And if y'all want to rewatch this one, it's going to be saved on my audio. So you got to make sure you go to Apple Music or re-listen to this one. It's going to be audio only. You got to go re-listen, right, at Apple Music and make sure you subscribe and leave a review if I'm giving you some information that's game changing. All right. So Claude.ai, that's your research assistant. Now, the thing I like about Claude is the fact that it has larger token length. So I mean that you can almost put in a whole book and ask Claude to break it down, right? Give me the best bulletin points. Give me the tone of the author, right? Where do you think that they got this information from? Claude will give you a breakdown of everything, right? Why? Because it has a larger token length. Token is basically like one token is like 4 words. So if you didn't know what token was, you're just looking at little data points. So where ChatGPT, you can't put in a large amount of tokens, right? So, Claude has like 10 times more that you can do. So you can put in like a whole book. Now, one of the things I like about, Claude the most, I'm going to tell you about the most, you know what I'm saying, is the fact that you can upload links to it. So you can take a whole article that you have. You can take a picture of something. You can take a picture of your notes just like this, upload it to Claude and tell it to rewrite it over or tell it to give you further information on these notes or break this down like, yo, I was taking high level notes. I need you to break this down in low level details. Claude can do that. Claude is different. So I like it for that. It has what they call an AI constitution. And this AI constitution is what governs Claude by certain rules. So if Claude does something wrong, then Claude will actually come and fix the mistake as well once it figures it out, where ChatGPT does not do that. So that's the high level on Claude. I ain't gonna go too deep into it yet. Now, the last but not least is Bard.ai. Bard is BARD.ai. That's Google's. Now, with the Bard, you can upload pictures as well. It searches the internet in real time, right? And I like it because, of course, it is Google's one, and you're going to get a lot more probably faster and factual information. Not only you can do things like, because it has this visual recognizer and Bard, you can upload, you might be, I ain't tried this, you might be able to upload a whole outfit, and ask AI to rate it. Like, because you can upload a website and then you can ask Bard AI, what are some changes? I'm talking about a picture of the website. What are some changes you think I should make on my website? So, therefore, Bard can go in there and be like, yo, you should probably move this here. You should probably move this there. It can grade the things for you. So now you're utilizing it as another assistant as well. Right now, you all are going to have to do your own research going deeper into Bard. I don't use this as much as I use the other ones. But all of them have the ability to be able to grade things. Now, don't upload a picture of yourself because I don't know if Bard is going to just be super truthful to you and be like, based on the societal beauty standards, do I look good? Bard going to be like, you probably a 3.5. I'm going to just be honest with you. I don't know. It might do that. But that's the kind of play Bard got going on right now from a visual standpoint. And, of course, just the ability that is Google's, and you can search the internet and you can do a whole lot of different things, right? Now, it's so many more things that we can go into detail about this whole bar situation, right? But all of them, I'm going to leave it at that. You are going to have to do your own research. The rest is going to have to be sold and not told. So the information that I just gave you right now is very high level, right? And when I say high level, there is, if we look at the human history, right? I just went over 3 different AIs that can do things that will blow people's mind, that should change people's business, that should revolutionize the way you do everything. You essentially just got the smartest people in the world working for you with some of the most powerful tools in the world. And you get access to some of these tools for free or just at a small cost. The problem is that a lot of you all go hear this. Some people will pick it up for about a week. And because it's going to stimulate you when you first use it, and you'll be like, oh, this is amazing. But you're going to realize that it's going to require you to become a master at it, which means it's going to require days, weeks, and months of getting great at this thing. And if you do spend that time, you're going to be ahead of most society. The problem is because of the way that we operate today, we go with fast consumption. Fast consumption means we consume it. Then after a week, when it's no longer stimulating it, we put it down. So you're back to your old operations, asking questions that you have a tool that can answer it for you, waiting for things that you already have a tool that you can use to fix your problem. I don't like it. I don't respect it. Right? Like it's disrespectful that we're not using this technology and that you just being afraid of it. You actually have to go consume it and slowly consume it to get the most out of it. Because if you really just sit down and master these things, there's no reason that you should not make money with it. There's no reason that you should not be, increasing your effectiveness in all aspects of life. Like that, deep dive into this. Don't just jump on it, then leave. And you have to be careful because it's a lot to be sold in this space, but you don't need it all. All of these different things that's coming up, don't. Some of these things you actually have to learn for yourself so that you can get good at it. But this is some of the greatest technology that's ever been invented. Don't do it to where you just had a quick feel good and a quick spark and then you put it back down. You should have stories where you like, man, because of that live, bro, I made an extra 10,000 in my business, an extra 20,000 in my business. Because of that live, I realized that you just gave me the power to hire a researcher. You just gave me a power to have data, which means that I can now pull data from the whole entire world. You just gave me a newsletter. You just gave me an email writer, copywriter, right? You just changed this game and everything that I do, because they even got, so you can go create videos, you can create pictures, you can create everything. Like, and I do not see how we're not improving. I don't see how we're not utilizing this data and utilizing these tools to be great. And everybody if you got anybody that works for you, they better be a master at these tools as well or get rid of them. Think about that. So do slow consumption, not fast consumption.